Welcome to Soulmate Summer, a new moon ritual. I had this idea for this workshop when I was thinking about the whole hot girl summer thing and how that has become so popular. And I thought to myself, well, I love hot girl summer. I love the vibe and the energy of that because it's such high vibe, such goddessy energy. And so, wouldn't it be great to do an event at the beginning of the summer that is also designed to get you into that high vibe goddess place, but to attract in your soulmate for this summer? So that's how I got the idea. And for those of you who aren't familiar with me already, I am Allison Jane. I wrote the book Find Love Again, Learn to Date Like a Goddess, which if you haven't already downloaded it, you can download it for free. I will give you directions in your email, your follow-up email for how to do that. I love for you to check it out and let me know what you like about it, what you find from it, and the results that you get. I've been getting some really phenomenal results from readers already that just make me super excited. So I'm very happy about that. And the purpose of this morning's event together is simply to give you some more tools for learning how to manifest more love in your life. I'm going to walk you through some things in my book. You might have already seen that I teach EFT tapping, and I'm going to talk more about that today. And we're going to do it together as a group, so you'll have a much better sense of how to do it on your own. Now, when I talk about drawing in a soulmate this summer, that might sound unrealistic to some of you. You might have already preconceived notions that these things take a lot of time and that it couldn't just happen overnight. But Albert Einstein says time is an illusion, right? And what did he mean by that? Well, he meant that everything that happens to you in life happens to you in the present moment. So in any given present moment, anything is possible. There's a world of possibilities open to you. You can walk out your door today and meet your soulmate. You can go to the beach in a month and meet your soulmate. You can have some kind of accidental meeting or some kind of synchronistic meeting at any given time. So the fact that we sometimes think to ourselves, oh, it couldn't happen this fast, it couldn't happen this summer, that is a limiting belief in your mind. And I wanted to bring that to your attention because limiting beliefs are the number one thing that will sabotage us from calling in great love into our life. The whole premise of all of my work on this topic is that when you change from the inside, what shows up in your outer reality also changes. And it's based on law of attraction. But for those of you who aren't necessarily even into all of that kind of stuff, it also goes by the great old psychological name of self-fulfilling prophecy. This has had tons of research around it. It's been around in our literature for a long time. And it's simply the fact that what we believe will happen for us is what ends up happening for us. And there's lots of neuroscience as to why that is. And I might get into some of that today. We'll see how we're doing with time, but it's definitely in my book. So it sounds like magic, but it's not necessarily magic. And I'm going to just cover with you all what we're going to do for the next hour. So together, we are going to create a map from here, from being single to there, to being in the relationship of your dreams. There's no way to get to a destination if you don't know where you're trying to get. Destination is all about intention. Chances are you don't go on a road trip without knowing where you're going. But most of us start dating and we don't really have a good sense of what we want or what we're looking for. We're just kind of throwing darts at a wall and seeing what happens. So today we're going to set a clear intention of where we're trying to get to. I'm going to show you how to effectively set these intentions. I'm going to give you some tips for how to do that. And we're actually going to take some time in this workshop right now to do it. I'm going to teach you what I call a secret hack for successful intentions. It's not so secret. It is EFT tapping for those of you who already know me. But I call it a secret hack because I feel like so many people out there talking about manifesting and creating the life of your dreams using intentions leave out the biggest problem that happens, which is we tend to have either emotional blocks or subconscious programming that run counter to our intentions. If it was really as easy as just setting an intention and having it come true, then everybody would be doing that all of the time. That does not happen because of some of this underlying stuff. And I have not found any better tool out there than EFT tapping that will quickly clear and eliminate that underlying stuff. So we're also going to do that together today. Then we're going to actually have our new moon ritual. And we are going to close with a little gratitude meditation because gratitude is the best emotional signature for drawing in what it is you want in life. If you can be emotionally in what Neville Goddard refers to as the wish fulfilled, the place that you want to get to, if you can emotionally be in that place before you get there, you feel grateful, you feel excited, and those emotions create an energetic field that draws in, that magnets in what it is you would desire. I also just want to say I'm very aware that we probably will not have time for questions at the end, but I am so open to getting any questions y'all have from me. You can email me after, you can text me. I'll give you all my info so you can ask anything you want after we're done today. Oops. Okay. Oops, sorry. A little technical difficulties. There's some kind of delay on this. There we go. Okay, so our map, here we are, single now. What's wrong with that? Well, we know, right? You're feeling isolated. You might have some disappointment from your past relationships. The dating pool can feel really limited, especially at midlife. And this time pressure kind of starts to creep in, whether you want it to or not. And I hear it from a lot of my clients. It's this, I'm running out of time. I don't want to grow old alone. These thoughts that then generate the feelings of nervousness, panic, fear. And so what happens when we're in those mental states is we tend to make not so good decisions for ourselves, right? Like decisions that are made out of fearful places usually aren't the best and healthiest decisions for us. So what we need to do is clear out that feeling, that panic, fear, time pressure feeling so that we are relaxed, secure, we're in our highest goddess vibe, and then we make the best decisions for us in terms of dating and relationships. What we want to get to is the there, right? And our life with the soulmate. We want to have that deep connection, that intimacy. We want to have mutual love and respect. We want to be as in love with our person as they are with us. We want to have shared interests and values with our soulmate. This is something that sounds so obvious, but can be very tricky because a lot of times we're going to date someone who maybe has these sort of superficial or demographic checklist items that we're looking for. That's a good place to start when you're starting to date someone. We typically are going to give a second date to someone we also have chemistry with. But the deeper issue of finding these shared interests and values sometimes can get overlooked. Our brain can start to talk ourselves out of that, the importance of that piece, because we might think, well, I have all this juicy chemistry and he seems to have what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to ignore these little mismatch in terms of values. Well, my tapping mentor's wife is famous. Alina Frank is kind of well known in the EFT world. And she's famous for the saying that if something is a pebble in your shoe early on, it is going to be a boulder 10 years in. And I feel that these things, these interests and values, these shared interests and values are what are pebbles that turn into big boulders if you're not careful. So you want to pay attention for that because when you are with your true divine right soulmate, there's not going to feel like pebbles. The things that maybe you're not aligned on aren't going to be that important to you. But the things that are really important to you, your most deeply cherished values, you need to be in alignment with them for the long haul and to know that this is in fact your person, your right person. And of course, when you're in your life with your soulmate, you are going to have lasting commitment between each other. So I just wanted to go through that quickly with you all as an exercise of saying this is where I want you to start thinking and priming your brain. This is that point on the map of where we want to get to. So how do we turn this dream life with a soulmate into a reality? Well, it all starts with our intention setting. Intention setting creates that clarity. Like I said, it takes it away from just throwing darts at the wall to this is clearly what I'm looking for. And when you have that kind of clarity, especially nowadays in the world of online dating, I think this is super important because online dating actually makes it easy in a way, easy and hard. Trust me, I know. I've done it. But it can be easier to get multiple dates in a short period of time if you want to. And so when you're just going out on date after date after date, if you don't have that clarity, you might actually be wasting your time. But when you have this clarity, you can much more quickly weed people out and decide, okay, no, I had a phone call. I know this person isn't a match. I'm not even going to go out on a date with them. It just helps you when you have that clarity to kind of hone in on where you're trying to go. It focuses your attention. Now, this is where I'm going to get to a wee little bit of that neuroscience. It focuses your attention. There's a part of our brain. It's called the reticular activating system, and it is the part of your brain that is responsible for finding and identifying patterns. So, the example I usually use is if you're thinking about buying a car. Let's say you decide you're going to buy a Jeep. Suddenly, you see Jeeps everywhere, right? We've all had experiences like this. So the question is, were those Jeeps always there? Did you just not see them before? Of course, they were always there, but your brain didn't actually see them before. When you set an intention and you have a very clear idea of the kind of man you're looking for, it will then focus your attention in, and your brain, at a very sort of subconscious level, your reticular activating system will start to see those men where maybe it wasn't seeing them before. And one of the most important things about setting an intention in a very clear way is that it aligns your energy. So remember that I said that the whole premise here of the work that I do with women is that when you change on the inside, your external world, your external reality changes on the outside. Part of this is because of your reticular activating system literally seeing things differently. And part of this is because you start to energetically draw in and attract, like attracts like. So you begin to draw in and attract people at a similar energy level. I'm sure that you have heard you need to love yourself first before someone else can love you. I have some issues with this saying, to be honest. And if you've read my book, you might know about these issues. And my concern with it is that I don't think anyone is ever in sort of this full self-love place before they find love. What I actually think happens is that you find someone who's at a similar level match to you. And then when you are in your most intimate relationship with them, that becomes a perfect mirror for you to do whatever remaining healing work you need. And same for them. And you do that together. And that can be really a beautiful, wonderful, magical experience. So, if you have in the past had problems with not so healthy relationships, you can pat yourself on the back and say, that's okay, because that relationship helped me to get to this next level where I am right now. And every time we increase levels, we're going to draw in healthier and healthier partners to help us advance to the next point, next ladder rung that we want to get to. And it's all about our energy. When our energy is in a better, healthier place, we're going to draw in someone else who is also in that better, healthier place. So we've got to keep working on our own energy and our own internal vibe to be able to get to that next level and draw in our ideal person. The last thing, and probably the most important thing about the work that I do with people and the work that I want you guys to start to do today, is this idea of becoming the future you now. So remember what I said. Einstein said there is no time is an illusion. It's a mental construct. What he actually talks about is that there's really no past and no future. It's all we have is the present moment. And we create a past in our mind when we think about it, and we create a future in our mind when we worry about it. But there is only the present moment. So if you want to get from here to there, what you need to do is you need to right now in the present start to embody the you want to be in the future. Joe Dispenza talks about it as drawing your future to you. So, one of the things that you might have heard me talk about, I know I kind of posted a little bit about this on some of my posts this week because I am a little obsessed right now with the book, The Power of Eight, and, and the concept of intention setting as a group. I have actually personally been to a bunch of workshops with Joe Dispenza. And so I've seen some of this live and experienced it myself. But to actually hear the research and understand the fact that when you are in a group and you're setting intentions, it magnifies those intentions to come true, kind of blew my mind. So some of the things that get talked about, I'm just going to cover it real quickly because it's interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to you guys. And if you have more questions about this, feel free to ask me. But there was some research out of Princeton that used what is called random event generators. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It is designed to just create random events over and over at sort of with a scientific randomness to it. And so no patterns or anything like that with these generators. And what they did is they took a group of people and they had them focus on trying to influence this random event generator in various ways. I think one of them was flashing pictures of cowboys and then flashing pictures of Indians in random sequences and random amounts of time. And when they asked the participants to focus on creating more images of cowboys, it actually started happening. And then vice versa, they did with Indians and actually started happening. So there's been several studies on this at this point that show that actually through thought and intention alone, people can start to influence these things, and that when people do it together as a collective, as a group, it actually magnifies the results. What seems to be one of the powerful pieces to this is synchronized energy. So when they are looking at EEGs, brain scans, or heart scans for heart variability. They are looking at, are people in sync with each other in these heart variations and brain variation waves? And that seems to increase the power of group intention setting. And what they have found is some pretty remarkable results in terms of people being able to set intentions as a group and have some spontaneous healing, some remission things going on. They did a whole study on trying to send intentions to certain communities and certain situations, and they found a reduction in crime and violent incidents and things like that. And so, the reason I wanted to talk about it today and here in this group is because I know as women, we often come together as groups and we are just sort of naturally drawn to doing that and naturally getting together. And so I want you to just be aware of this is actually very, very powerful. So keep doing that and maybe intend to do it more and find other like-minded people. If you're struggling with the dating world and it's getting you down or getting you frustrated, find other single women that want to rise above the frustration. I think it's really easy for us as women to get in and complain and all that with each other, but then we're actually creating a future reality of more of the same. So what you want to do is get together with a group of women who want to shift into that higher vibe, who want more, who want to start dropping some of those limiting beliefs and believe that they can have the future of their dreams, who you can say, I am going to meet my soulmate this summer, and they're not going to go, what, whatever, you don't want people poo-pooing your ideas. And listen, that's going to happen. We all know that happens, but you need to kind of block that out, cancel, clear, delete, and draw in instead the people and the support that is in alignment with you. And you'll see the more you get in alignment with, hey, I'm getting alignment with my new future, the more the universe is going to introduce you, bring in people who are going to support and share your vision and your mission for your future. Okay, so now we're going to take a couple minutes and we are going to create our intention. The key here is, I'm sure you've heard to do the exercises of really envision your soulmate, who they are, what they look like, what qualities they have, what values they have. And I love it. I think it's great. I think it's important. The piece I think that's often missing though is what I want to spend a few minutes now doing together here. And that piece is, I want you to start to envision the you in that relationship. Okay. So if you would never have done a sort of scripting about your soulmate, then do that after the call because that's important too. But I'm guessing a lot of you, if you're already here today, you've probably done that. And so what we're going to do is take it to the next level. Because what becomes the most important is that you start feeling the feelings that you want to feel with your soulmate in the future now. So you have to figure out what those feelings are. You have to intend for that. You have to create the intention that this is how I'm going to feel with my soulmate in order to draw that future to you. So here are the steps that we do to create a very powerful intention. Number one, visualize yourself already in your dream relationship. Number two, while you're in that vision, reflect on how you feel. So you can picture yourself in the relationship and then really reflect on how you feel, how you would feel, how you want to feel. The emotion is the signature that draws in. That's what brings us what we want. So emotion is so, so important whenever you're setting any kind of intention. And then I'm going to ask you to do a little journaling right now on this topic. But before you get started, I just want to say what's going to be really, really important here is to journal as if you are in the relationship already. So we're just going to take the next 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to ask you to write about a paragraph or two of how you are feeling in the relationship of your dream with your soulmate. And I want you to write it as if this is some date in the future. You can put a future date on, you can put July 23 or whatever you want to do. And I want you to write as if you're already in it. I feel so amazing to wake up with my man every day, or whatever it is you want to feel, whatever it is you visualize happening. I want you to take a few minutes now and go ahead and write that out as if you're already in the relationship. Okay. It's always hard for me to have patience for a couple of minutes, but I wanted to make sure I gave you all enough time to work on that. So now you can kind of put your pen down. And now we're going to get to the really good stuff. Okay. So sometimes what happens is when we write our intention, all of a sudden some creepy, I call them squirrely feelings can come up. Some feelings where we feel out of alignment or doubt, negativity, like, oh, you know, this is what I want, but I've wanted it for so long. It's just not happening. Those kind of feelings can come up. And so, what we need to do is clear those feelings out, because what we believe we receive. So, if we believe that we could never have this, we don't deserve this, we're not worthy of this, it's unrealistic. I think that's a really common thing limiting belief people have. It's unrealistic to say I'll find my soulmate. Relationships are hard work. That might be a limiting belief that you have. So all of these beliefs, if you have them, that's what's going to happen. You're going to draw in a partner who will be hard work if you believe your relationship has to be hard work. I can tell you firsthand, I know lots of couples who say their relationship is not hard work, that it feels that there's lots of ease in it, that there's lots of joy in it, that no, nothing's perfect, of course, but that in general, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like juicy and fun and um, collaborative and like a partnership. And so, isn't that what we would all desire? But if you have a belief in your head that says, well, that's not possible, the best I can hope for is, sort of this 80-20 mix or something. I've heard people use those numbers. If that's what you believe, then that is what will continue to show up on your doorstep, in your dating apps, etc. So, how do we clear away these negative beliefs, limiting beliefs? Well, we do them through EFT tapping. What is EFT tapping? For any of you who are not familiar with it, it is combining acupressure, tapping on our own acupressure points. There's 9 points that I'm going to show you, with processing the emotional material that is getting in our way of having more joy, ease, peace in our life. You can use EFT tapping on anything, but when I use it in the dating context, I primarily use it on clearing out limiting beliefs and clearing out fears around either dating or, frankly, around being in a relationship. Dr. Gay Hendricks, who has written many books that I love, talks about the fact that if you are single right now, at some subconscious level, you are more committed to being single than you are to being in a relationship. And I, I trust me, I know that that might be very frustrating to hear for those of you who have been really longing for a relationship for a long time. However, the good news in that statement is that if you can become enough of a reflective detective on your own subconscious mind, you can start to figure out what exactly it is that is the subconscious block or barrier, and then you can apply EFT tapping to clear it. So it actually gives you a lot more power when you start to look at it this way. If you continue to look at dating through the lens of, oh, maybe I need to get better pictures on my profile, you're giving your power away. It's all about the external. When you start to say, I wonder what blocks, what subconscious blocks and barriers I might actually have that I'm not even aware of, you're taking your power back. It becomes all about you and your internal work. And once you know that and start doing that, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel more in control, and you're going to feel more excitement as you begin to unearth these things and clear them with tapping. So how exactly does tapping work? Well, when you tap on the acupressure points, it sends a calming signal to the fight or flight part of your brain, and that quiets it down and allows for a new neural pathway to grow. So it helps you to begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. You clear out those old beliefs, and then guess what? New beliefs can come in. Beliefs like, wow, I can find my perfect person, my person who is perfect for me. Wow, I can have a relationship filled with ease where he loves and adores me and treats me like a goddess. Those are the kind of beliefs that will start to naturally bubble up when you clear out all the old, unhelpful beliefs that are not serving you. And it clears the emotional blocks, that things that are really sticking you inside, keeping you from achieving your goals, from drawing in your intention. So today I thought we would take the next couple of minutes and do a tapping round together on this concept of having doubt of that I could find my soulmate. Okay. So the way I have found group tapping to work is best on Zoom, I should say, is if I can have one person volunteer to be my echo back voice and everyone else stay on mute. Otherwise, Zoom will just have us all talking over each other. However, as we tap along, I want you, if you're able to repeat the phrases out loud, because that's going to be the most effective, get you the most effective results. So can somebody in my audience, all right, Lizette, thank you. All right, go ahead and unmute yourself. Thank you. Okay, before we actually start tapping, I just want you all, if you can, close your eyes for a second, tune in to, I have this doubt that I will ever find my soulmate, and just notice where you feel it in your body. Just tune in, notice where you feel it, and give it a number on a scale 1 to 10. You don't have to say it out loud, but just give it you could write it down or have it in your mind of how strong that doubt is. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and start tapping. So I'll say a phrase and then Lizette will repeat after me. And those of you following along, just repeat along with her. Even though I have this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
Even though I have this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate,
And I feel the doubt in my body.
and I feel the doubt in my body,
I accept that I have this doubt.
I accept that I have this doubt.
Even though I really doubt I'll ever find my soulmate.
Even though I really doubt I'll ever find my soulmate.
And when I think about that, I feel it in my body.
When I think about that, I feel it in my body.
I accept that I have this doubt.
I accept that I have this doubt.
And even though I do have this doubt,
And even though I do have this doubt,
and I can feel it,
oh, I can feel it.
I don't know that I'll ever find my soulmate.
I don't know that I'll ever find my soulmate.
I accept that I have this doubt
I accept that I have this doubt
because I accept all of my feelings
because I accept all of my feelings
and I accept myself completely.
and I accept myself completely.
Now we're going to go to the inner eyebrow right there, one hand or two, whatever's more comfortable, and just start tapping and say, this doubt I'll ever find my soulmate.
This doubt I ever find my soulmate.
Going to the side of the eye, this doubt that I'll ever find him.
This doubt that I'll ever find him.
Now going under the eye on the bony ridge right below the pupil, this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
This doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
Next is in the upper lip, right where the nose and lip meet, this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
This doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
In the chin crease is next. All this doubt.
All this doubt.
The next point, we call it the collarbone point, but it's really below the collarbone. So you go to the hollow on your neck, down about an inch and over about 2. There's 2 dents right there. And just tap there and say, all this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
All this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
Under the arm, a couple inches below the armpit on your rib cage, this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
This doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
And the last point, top of your head on the crown chakra, this doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
This doubt that I'll ever find my soulmate.
Now take a deep breath. Okay. And then just go ahead and tune back in for a minute. Notice where you felt that doubt before. Is it still there? Did it move? Sometimes the energy moves in our body, the emotional energy moves in the body. What's your number now on a scale 1 to 10? And if your number is a 5 or above still, you want to do another round just like that. Go walking through. You do the setup statement 3 times where you pair the problem with some kind of statement of acceptance. And then each point of the 9 points, or I should the 8 remaining points, you go through tapping on those with the reminder phrase of what the emotion is that you're trying to clear. If you get to a 3 or less, you're good to go. Just stop and move on. Couple of caveats when you're tapping. When you sometimes tap on an emotion, another emotion, when you tap down one emotion, another emotion can come up. The research has shown that it is these specific points that are important. So that is something to keep in mind if you just tap on any points, or sometimes people have said to me, so if I'm just thinking about the issue, is that why it's working? And research is pretty clear. It's not just thinking about it and it's not just tapping anywhere on the body. It is these specific points that get the really good results. And the results, by the way, on EFT tapping are things like extreme lowering of cortisol levels, moving you very quickly into an alpha brainwave state, which is that relaxed brainwave state you get into with meditation. So, for those of you who struggle to meditate, tapping can be a nice little hack to get you the same results, the same biological results that are good for your body without having to, struggle with the focus and concentration that meditation can require, that I know is hard for people. Guess what, everyone? We are almost to our new moon time. We are getting to the top of the hour here. And what I want to do is, hold on, I'm just going to get that going. Okay, so I had sent an email last night to tell you to get maybe like a smaller piece of paper, something that you can like fold up pretty easily. So if you have something like that near you, get that out now. And I know I had suggested that you might want to get some kind of little box, something that, maybe has some specialness to you. Like I said, Marianne suggests metal is good for the masculine elements. I'm saying that correctly, right? And to bring that in. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes I've used for new moon, I've used this little seashell of mine. I'll fold my intention, I'll place it in here. It's something that you can put in the windowsill and let it sit there. And what you want to do is to think about, as the new moon, tonight it will be dark, right? And then it'll start to get slowly more and more light as the rest of the month goes on. And so they call the new moon intention setting the dream seed time, because we're planting the seeds of our dreams and then we're leaving it out in the moonlight and allowing it to build and come to fruition as the moon builds up to the full moon. So, what we're going to do is, going back to your journal entry, I want you to just look it over and then pare it down to one sentence. What's the one sentence of your intention for this new moon cycle? You might want to consider it to be something along the lines of, I intend to call in my soulmate with ease. I intend to wake up each morning next to the man I love. You can also use the word I desire. I desire to find juicy, amazing love this summer. Whatever it is, pare it down to one sentence, write it on your paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold it up. Okay, everyone, about 30 more seconds is 10:53, and that is the exact peak of the new moon. So as you finish up, I'm going to ask you all to take your paper and hold it over your heart. And when you're ready, I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I want you to just breathe with your intention at your heart, keeping your focus on your intention, what you want to call in this new moon cycle. And I'm going to walk you through our little heart opening gratitude meditation. It's 10:53, so close your eyes and just breathe slowly with your intention at your heart, thinking about drawing it to you. Let your heart open to the possibility. Let the excitement build. Begin to feel the gratitude for your wish fulfilled. Feel into your heart. Knowing that is what is meant for you will never miss you. believing that your intention comes to you. You don't need to look for it. Breathe through your heart and allow gratitude to build, building from your heart, encompassing your intention. Feeling grateful that your desires can come true, that all things are possible. Let your heart just swim in that gratitude, that appreciation for having your dreams come true. Keep breathing and let it build. Feeling your heart open and expand. And when you're ready, I want you to breathe in deeply. Breathe in the gratitude. Breathe in the excitement and thankfulness for your wish coming true. Breathe it in through the top of your head, all the way down your body, flashing on every cell in your body, reprogramming it to know that you get what you desire, all the way down to your toes, and slowly back up again, knowing that your intention is on its way to you. And when you bring it back up to your heart, take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, let it out 360 degrees and send the signal out into the universe of appreciation for your dream coming true. Now you can open your eyes and take your intention and put it in your container. And if you don't have it right now, that's okay. Do it when you get home from work or whatever. And seal it up and just know that you have begun a really important step of drawing more love into your life. You can set it on a windowsill. I have a window right there, and let your intention manifest. And if at any point in the next month, until the new moon comes again, you start having fear or doubt or negativity creep in, use the tapping. You can go to my YouTube page, Inspired Life Tapping. You can follow me at Allison Jane Goddess Maker on Instagram for more tapping tips and know-how. And certainly you can reach out to me anytime if you have any questions, and I can help you with that.